Two Jack Bros! Two Jack Bros!
Welcome back to Two Jack Bros. And if it's your first time, thank you for giving us a chance and welcome as well. I am Sidney. I am sitting next to Ansley. And today our guest is none other than the Dave Primiano.
I've never been a "the" before, but thank you.
You are a the today.
It feels nice. It feels nice. I might adopt it later.
Yeah?
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, that can be your prefix from now on.
Yeah.
You put it on your license, the Dave Primiano. That'd be pretty sick. And before we get started, I want to remind everybody, please do all of the things that you do to show love and support to a podcast. Rate, review, especially on iTunes. It really does help grow the show, and we're trying to grow the show. Tell a friend, and tell that friend to tell a friend. And also, make sure you support Dave and his podcast called The Rank Bank. Dave, what do you do on that?
We just rank shit. Right now, we're in a hiatus right now, but we are coming back. It was basically, it started over the pandemic. Because in 1 week, we got 2 new sports team names. We got the Kraken and the Washington football team. Both great names. Mm-hmm. And, so we did, we're all stuck in our houses. Let's just do 4 podcasts where we rank all the team names in each professional sports.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic didn't end, so we just kept doing it. Yeah, so we do, lots of nerd shit, if you're into nerd shit. So,
And if you're into this podcast, you're definitely into nerd shit.
Yeah.
So check out Rank Bank.
Right up your alley.
For sure. Yeah. And Dave, do you know what we do in this podcast?
Yes.
Awesome.
You try to make me a better person or something, which... So I accepted the challenge because I'm going to resist you at every stop.
Okay.
So.
Well, somewhat. We somewhat try to make you a better person. So, again, the premise of this podcast, if you're not familiar with the podcast as a listener, we're trying to prove that you can have a dark sense of humor, but still be a person that reaches a higher consciousness, a.k.a. enlightenment. And we do that by taking our guest, who is going to be Dave Primiano today, through the process of enlightenment so that you and us, that's Ansley and me, can laugh ourselves to a higher consciousness. We're doing it vicariously through Dave. Dave's doing the hard work.
Yes.
You ready for that, Dave?
Yeah. I did my research, so you guys can't ambush me with anything.
You don't know that.
That's fair. That's fair.
You might have to fight us both at the end of this podcast.
I got too cocky, and
yeah, he's already.
now you're gonna try to throw a twist at me.
You're already on your way, Dave.
I'm gonna need this shit scrubbed afterward. And yeah.
So we do this by, of course, opening up the chakras from the ground up. But before we do that, everybody gets the same questions. Ansley, let's get this first question out of the way.
All right, Dave, what situation or event gave you the most information?
All right, let's. This is a comedy show. Let's start. Probably losing my dad. Let's make this funny though. No.
How old were you?
I was 23.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He was sick for a year, and I became the primary caretaker. So it taught me a lot about myself that I could step up in a big way for people that I care about. And that was exhausting, so I learned to stop caring. I learned to stop caring about people. Yeah. I learned that, I guess, because I'm not a really expressive person. You've probably gathered in the short time but apparently that's like a source of comfort to a lot of people too.
Expressions, you mean, is a source of comfort?
I'm pretty deadpan all the time. This is just so. So
you're saying your deadpanness is a source of comfort?
Apparently.
Okay.
I didn't know this either. Yeah, I didn't know that. Just like my general being kind of was a source of comfort to other people, because when you're sick and you don't. Apparently, he didn't want people just seeing him getting all teary eyed. Mm-hmm. So he felt like a lot more normalcy around me.
I guess you don't want to be pitied in a situation like that, because you're going through a human experience and you just want to do it with dignity, and it's probably hard to do that with dignity when people are pitying you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but that's just me. That's
yeah.
I didn't intentionally do that. It's just so.
Do you feel like you were stealing valor when your dad said that? When he was like, "Thank you for bucking up and really being this way for me in this time."
Yeah, hey, call up my brother and tell him all the ways I'm better.
Yeah.
Favorite son.
How old is your brother?
3 years older.
3 years older. And was he far away during that year where you were the primary caretaker?
Well, yeah, I think he lived in Penn. We're not that close. So I think he lived like 40 minutes away. I was actually homeless for a chunk of it because I had to move from one apartment, got kicked out for reasons that weren't my doing.
Okay.
And then, and I had another place to go, but it was like a little while in between. So I had like all my clothes in a trash bag in a car. So yeah, it benefited me to stay there too. But I'd say it benefited him a little bit more.
Okay.
At the time, yeah.
Now, if you had to distill what the, not necessarily the lessons, but the information that you got from that, what would that be?
Just the type of person I am, because I was 23. I was, I guess, a drunk. A good time haver.
Yeah.
And so that was like the first test of like my character, I guess.
Yeah, that's like a very selfish age to be at 23. It's like when you're first grown and you're like on, like it's all about you, right?
I had the endurance to go out drinking every night, and by gummit, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what did you do right like after all that experience of being a primary caretaker, and then your dad passes? Did you go back to that lifestyle, or did you?
For a little. I mean, I had earned it. I guess I didn't learn anything. No, but it's just no. I mean, yeah, it just to know I'm a person that people can count on.
Okay. And are you still a person that people can count on?
I don't advertise it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sell it. I mean, that is funny because I do say a good friend is a person that will be there for you for anything. Mm-hmm. But in order to be a good friend for them, you make sure anything never comes up. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And I'm trying to think of examples if I agree.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm probably the one that gets. Well, yeah, I try. Like, legal wise, I'm always okay. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So none of my friends have been arrested in my presence, but
that's fair. That's a good friend.
Yeah.
Or gotten the shit kicked out of them. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah, I'm pretty good at knowing the line on where to not get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah. That's fair. I don't, man. I cross that line.
I mean,
habitually.
I know, but the difference between me and you is you can handle yourself.
Yeah, but
I treat it like an art form almost. Like, how much of a dick can I get away with being without showing that I can't fight a lick?
Step right up to that line.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. What was the closest you've been to getting your ass kicked? Have you ever been gripped up by your collars?
Oh, like 2 weeks ago. I still don't know what happened, actually. Okay, I don't drink that much anymore, but I did a show in Maryland, and the host of the show drove us, and we all did great. So the entire audience invited us to the bar across the street, and I didn't pay for shit. And then some dude, at the end of the night, we were being super cool. He bought me 2 shots. And I don't know what happened. We were walking out of the door, and he just turned around and shoved me. And, like, I flew back into a table. Glasses fell off. And I'm still... And I was just...
What part of Maryland were you in?
Edgewater. It was
very
white.
Could that be an Edgewater goodbye?
Yeah, maybe.
Was he lovingly saying he's going to miss you and he's glad he had an opportunity to hang out with you and have drinks?
I
and
hope
just
so.
Push you
yeah.
to a table.
I didn't get mad. I'm just, all right, let me try to piece this together in my head real quick, because it's the most I've drank in years. So I don't believe I was even talking as we were walking out, but I'm only 50-50 on that.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like where this is going already. All right. we're going to hop into opening up these chakras.
All right, open them up.
Starting from
I
the
don't know what
butthole chakra up.
Okay.
Ansley, you want to explain to this man what a chakra is before he gets his chakras opened?
So I'd like to know before they get open.
Oh, you signed a waiver.
Your chakras are energy centers throughout your body, in different parts. And if they're all open, your energy can flow. You're more connected to the universe.
Beautiful.
Right? And this first chakra that we're opening up is related to survival and fear. And it's in your butthole because think about it. Anytime you're scared, what do you clench?
My butthole.
Gotta keep them out the butthole.
All right, got the first question right.
Right? Correct. Ansley, let's do this.
Dave, how did you learn to overcome fear?
I don't know that I did. You probably get that same answer a lot with comics.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's really, because like, I guess one of my biggest is putting myself out there. Because you'll find I'm a kind of negative person, like as far as comedy goes, when it comes to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say it's striving to get better, but it does have like a lasting negative effect. Like if I have a set that goes 90% well, I'm kicking myself over that 10% that didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then it leads to, hey, are you any good? Nah, I suck. When I know it's not the truth 100%, but yeah, it's just do it. Just write that email, send that video. Just slap yourself a few times. Hey, stop being such a pussy.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, do you have a time that you remember being the most scared in your life?
Not really. Lots of social settings, but it's fearful. I mean, there's different kind. Like, are internal conflict or like about to crash my car? That was pretty scary. But
yeah, whatever strikes you when that question gets asked, I guess we don't. Yeah, we try not to micromanage the answers too much.
Yeah, when my car was spinning and I was facing the wrong way on Route 95, that was a little. But
was it an ice thing or?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But it was like it didn't look like it was sticking, and
yeah,
that was like years ago. But I still drive kind of timidly now when it's a little bit wet out.
What were you doing when that happened? Like, were you trying to change lanes too quickly?
I just it was like that ice water kind of. It didn't look like it was sticking. Like you could see it kind of like powdering off the road, but it was it was coated. Yeah, I just was going almost the speed limit, and next thing I knew, shit, I am facing other cars right now.
Yeah.
But luckily they were going I had enough time to like. This is when I figured out I might be kind of slow in the head, because like I made the K turn, resumed driving, and it was like a whole 2 minutes later. Holy fuck! What the hell just happened?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Then when you say almost the speed limit, you were saying like almost like just under or just over?
Like 45 on a 50, but it was just too fast for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little. Too fast, too furious. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, that was brilliant, and you should be proud of what you just said.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So here's the thing, though, because a lot of comics do say they don't think they've overcome fear. Yet, as a comedian, you're doing probably what is the number one fear for at least Americans, public speaking, the number one fear. How are you doing that? Like, if you haven't overcome fear, how are you doing the scariest thing?
Because I actually am now more comfortable on stage than I am in a lot of conversations. Like, I love, because I get, well, when I started, I was not a natural speaker. You can probably tell by my babbling over half these answers. But when I first started, I needed 4 beers before I got on stage. If I had that, just so I wasn't drunk, but I was, so I didn't get I got shaky hand every now and then, and then it was just a repetition thing. But you have complete control over everything that happens when you're on stage. Conversations, they can throw curveballs at you that you don't want to answer all the time or you're not comfortable talking about. So really, stand-up is more of a comfort zone to me.
What did you always want to be a comedian, or how did you overcome that first fear of getting on stage or putting yourself out there to do that the first time?
I had material. I liked writing a lot. Like I was actually, like before I ever started, I was a server and I was writing scripts with another friend of mine. We were doing nothing with him, but like getting a little bit better. Like he was good at plot stuff and I was good at writing out ridiculous dialogue. And then he moved to Arizona. I'm like, okay, well, probably not going to do anything with this without him. So I kind of just picked out all my parts of it. And a lot of that is stuff I do on stage. So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just because that's half of what it is just conversations I have with myself in my head that just leads to some of the ridiculous shit that I say. So a lot of it was just written out dialogue. Like one person saying all that and another, how's that? And then, okay. So like one person contributing nothing to a conversation. So another character could just go off on these wild tangents. And then the tangents just translated pretty well to stage.
Okay, so you have your material, you have all that stuff ready, but then now you have to get on stage. How did you get on stage? Like, how did you overcome the fear to get on stage
A friend of mine started a little bit before me. You actually know him. He quit comedy since. Bob DeSantis, I used to do a podcast with him. You
Okay.
were on it back in the day. I saw him do it. I mean, I was like, I'm fucking funnier than him. And
If Bob can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Bob was great.
No offense, Bob.
Bob was great. Yeah, and actually, I did take the course at Helium,
Okay.
which I say bumps you up about maybe like a few months ahead of where you would be if you just jumped into an open mic. And it helped that I had a friend with me that also took the class. And I kind of rocked the fuck out of that first show. And I've been hooked ever since.
Now, outside of stand-up comedy, are there things that you that fear you that you push yourself into?
No. Not really. I'm as crazy as I come off on stage, I actually am pretty boring off of it. Like I don't hang out and party anymore. People ask, I'm just like, I got a good chair waiting at home. I'm old now. I like a good chair. What can I say?
A good chair is hard to come by.
Yeah, I strive to be pretty normal outside of what comes out of my mouth on stage.
Okay, what is normal? What do you consider normal?
Just enjoying
A good chair.
friends, a good a chair, friends when I'm on a movie, playing tennis, whatever.
Playing tennis.
I know, is that weird?
It's
Does that seem out of character?
I mean, well, it seemed like more in character for normal in like the 1930s. Hang out with your friends, sit in a recliner, play tennis. It's like a black and white film of how to be a normal American.
Well, I love tennis. It's all you. You're controlling the narrative. No, sorry. No team sports.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, we consider that a fear chakra unlocked.
Yeah.
How does your butthole feel? It feel a little open?
It hasn't felt normal in years. Oh, you're talking.
Well, what is a normal butthole? Is it playing tennis?
That tightens everything up. No, yeah. I feel like a weight's been lifted from beneath me.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ansley, move us along.
All right, now we are into your pelvis chakra. There's a little section we like to call My Bad. It's a chance for you to apologize to a person, place, or thing in order to set your karma back to zero.
Okay. Sorry, every person I've ever dated.
Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
No, nothing. I mean, my steak wasn't cooked right. No. No, just because it took me later in life to realize, like,
Wait. Did you send food back?
no, never.
Oh, okay.
I waited tables.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I don't even, if I get shitty service, I still tip 20% and maybe just steal a glass. I don't know.
Okay.
But no, it's something I realized later in life that like I'm just okay not being. I'm better off not being a relationship person, which not everyone accepts.
Okay.
Yeah, so I realized like I want my default setting to be by myself.
Okay,
That-
so
so
what?
so yeah, if I leading people on, I felt bad about that. Like, because at some point you think, okay, well that's what everybody else wants, so maybe that's what I want too.
That's fair.
And it just and you get the pressure from the parents to have grandkids, but she's got them now, so she doesn't give a shit anymore.
Nice.
But
Your brother did that?
yes.
Hell yeah.
Somehow. No. No, they're great. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't want kids really. The uncle thing was more than good enough for me. The 2 hours every other week and then be the center of my own universe again. Perfect. And I still get that parental pride watching them grow into people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific relationship where you feel like you owe the most apology?
Voice went high.
Yeah, that went very high.
There was like an on and off
The
one.
answer was yes, but I'm going to say no. It's just all of them.
I don't know where it's my place to say public. Yeah, there's
I mean, you don't have
There's
to.
been
Yeah,
an
you
on
don't
and
have to
off
say. You don't have
one.
to
Yeah, it's
say.
just-
You don't have to say his name.
I would never. His name? What? No.
No, you don't have to name her.
There's been on and off one where, like, an on again kind of dipped into another one of their relationships and kind of like, all right, well, yeah, I kind of know that there's like
You kind of like
we're
ruined.
not. It's not gonna be a thing in the future, and fuck, you live with the guy, shit. Like that's not good.
Well, so did that ruin that other relationship?
Oh yeah.
So you knew there wasn't going to be a possibility of a future with you, and then she had a possibility of a future with another man, and you ruined that
Not
with your futureless self.
According to her, but it sounded at the time, but it sounded like it was more serious than it did afterward. Like, yeah, that was a mistake. I'm like, well, you said you're basically not a thing, and like, but like,
But you gave her hope.
it was just like, yeah, it had been on and off again. So like, it was just, I guess, out of my system. It sounds so shitty. But like, yeah, there's like other people that, because as I said, the no expression thing kind of makes it seem like, okay, Dave's happy now. Dave's not happy anymore in this relationship, but there's no change to what they see. So then it kind of blindsides them when I'm like, it's not, it doesn't need to be a thing anymore, right?
Yeah. Maybe this is a female perspective on this, but like so you
I already hate it.
No. I'm just curious about the like saying like like relationships aren't for you. Like it's not like, oh, I haven't, because in my mind I'm like, he just hasn't met the right lady.
No, these are.
But you're like, no, like I don't.
I'm never completely ruling out the possibility of being swept off my feet. But like, at the end of the day, I really just do enjoy being alone most of the time. You know, I still have like my friends and family, and I still like seeing them. But at the end of the day, I kind of like everything couples do together. I enjoy. Like, I don't like eating with other people. I'm a narrow focused, like, I don't like talking when I eat. I'm right to the mouth.
Yeah.
I go to the movies alone.
Right to the mouth.
Yeah.
I don't got time for you. I'm trying to get right to the mouth.
Yeah. I love sleeping alone. I don't know. I can't go back. I love just starfishing out over the whole bed. It's mine.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you in a relationship now?
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
No, I see.
I love
I've
sleeping
stopped
with her. I love eating with her.
I've stopped pursuing it altogether. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
Wait, what do you mean you stopped pursuing it?
Everything. I don't even go find happiness. It's not going to be with me. I'm not going to slow down your process.
So I'm a little confused what that means. So you're in a relationship with somebody and
No, that was a lie.
Oh.
I thought we were bantering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Oh.
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
capable of love. So are you with anyone? Yeah. Hi, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. I did miss that.
See that lack of expression? It gets everyone.
Well, I mean, that's something that's pretty common in here. You know, we're sitting down talking to people, and they're explaining to us how they don't want this and they don't want this. I'm like, oh, so you had that? And they're like, yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's it's something I came to terms with, like, you know, because I tell that to my married friends, and they just look at me like I'm the saddest case ever. Like, oh, he just doesn't he just doesn't have hope for it. Like, no, this is what I'm legitimately happy being. And some people just can't wrap their heads around it.
Yeah. He's trying to get right to the mouth, people. Don't get in his way.
Right to the, yeah.
Don't get in his way. Well, I mean, that apology out to all of the ladies that you had led on,
Yeah.
giving them false hope.
Just like, yeah, this is like, okay, this is what the world's telling me I should want. So let's use you as test subject A.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of fucked up. And you think about it that way. Which I do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fucked up. I just think
Yeah,
it's
I get it.
who and how you are, right?
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that.
And they're all better now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm no. If I come across any of them, it's always cordial.
Yeah,
And if they're doing well, I'm like, you'd have been me. No, it's awesome. I'm happy when you're happy.
yeah.
Nice.
Well, not happy, but you know.
It's just I'm just
Yeah,
glad I'm just happy you're not with me.
I'm glad. I don't have real emotional stake in it, but it's nice. It's nice.
That's fair. All right, that's a pelvis chakra unlocked.
Yes.
My bad, ladies who thought they had a chance with Dave Primiano. You didn't. You didn't have that chance.
Yeah, that's 99. That 0.01% is weeping now. But.
Yeah. Ansley, let's go.
All right. Now we are in the gut chakra. How do you deal with disappointment?
Don't. I just on to the next one. It's always been there's always more time. I'm still young enough to know. I mean, that might be a Dave in his 60s. 50s realistically. I'm probably not going to live till my 60s.
That was a very optimistic.
yeah.
You're like you're quickly encroaching midlife crisis age.
I think I'm there based on family history.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't let things get to me really. I kind of just, all right. I know I'm always looking to improve upon things. So yeah, on to the next one. If I can't, if it, because all the disappointment I really since I just told you about the whole alone thing, all the disappointment that can really be provided to me is from me, and all I can do is change that.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see when the nieces get older and they start bringing home shitty report cards, and we'll see then. But yeah, right now it's just the Dave show. So.
Okay. Well, can you remember a time where you were the most disappointed in yourself? Or
2
or
weeks
just,
ago, no.
or just the most disappointed period.
It's probably it's got to be Plek from any stage time I've done. There's and because I lack a filter a lot of times from brain to mouth. So sometimes I'll get on stage for
It goes straight
show.
to the mouth both ways.
Just straight
From
to the
every
mouth.
direction,
My mouth.
straight to the mouth.
Jesus, I sound like a Bukkake video in this one. Everything's just okay.
Hold on a second.
Oh, do I have to?
Ansley, what is Bukkake?
Bukkake, Sidney.
We can give you the context.
Yeah.
Everything is straight to mouth.
In both directions.
Is
Ooh,
the
well, that
porno
loses
thing? Oh, this is this like butt to mouth,
No,
like
that's-
porno.
I don't know if that has a name. That's the most direct
Gross.
name. That's just
It's
ass
like
to mouth,
icky.
right? Yeah, ass to mouth is
There's
just ass to
Bukkake,
mouth.
there's
not-
icky.
So sex to blowjob? Is this
No
a porn
sex
thing?
involved in this
No?
one. I don't even think there's touching. I don't think there's any skin on skin contact.
Yeah. We've honestly asked you this question before.
I know. I feel like I should know this.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Dave, what is Bukkake?
It is the Japanese art form of a bunch of guys standing around a girl and jerking off onto her face.
Ah.
I tried to start it real
Bukkake.
eloquently in it. I don't know if you can.
Well, you called it an art form, so I mean
Yeah.
that makes it.
Well, the Japanese, they're just talented. They can make everything an art form.
Yeah.
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 So did you do sports growing up?
I played Little League till I was about 12. Backyard hockey. Oh,
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's go back to this little league. So this is what I like. I love these old sports stories, especially childhood sports stories, because they tend to be laced with disappointment.
All right. Yeah. I wasn't good. When I reached the age where like everybody else my age should have been there's like the two levels of Little League. There's with AAA, AA. One of them's better than the other. I think I was the only one in my age not to make it to the good one, and I wasn't even, and I dominated that bad one, which
That's
meant
awesome.
King of the millennials.
it was. So I totally the tryouts I totally got the yips on, because I could catch a fly ball, but I just misread every single one, and then I was throwing it from first to third, and I fell short every time until the last one when I just heaved it, and I guess the other kid was so used to me underthrowing it, it just clocked him in the face. Yeah, I couldn't hit for shit.
Yeah, that's pretty comical. That's pretty cartoonish.
That's the only organized sport I did intramural hockey, but I was good at that. That was the one sport I was first picked in gym class.
Nice.
Because I had all the goalie equipment and I could stop everything.
I could your own goalie equipment.
Yeah, that guy's first pick.
Yeah.
No, I stopped everything. No, I was and I could rollerblade kind of.
It was roller hockey.
No, I just
Brought my own blades.
I didn't play goalie on rollerblades, but I did the other part. I did. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, did you have any?
But I mean, okay. I was obviously disappointed about fucking up the tryouts.
Yeah.
But we won the championship that year, and I hit a double in that game.
Nice.
So, against all the 9-year-olds, the kids with like the specialized helmets that had the strap.
That's pretty sick. How old were you? Were you like 11?
11. Wait, no. Yeah, like about 12. I think 12 was my last year.
You were 12.
I didn't have the
with
strap helmet.
9-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, no, that was where they let the girl play too, even though she was awesome. Like she should have been. I think they were just like, no, the girl. Yeah, she's a girl. She's gonna play with the shit. Like she was our best player. But like I was the second best, and then it was all the chin strap kids.
Yeah. Now, when you blew the tryouts, do you remember how that felt? Do you remember what you took from that?
Just I don't like this anyway. No. Yeah, baseball was kind of the one pushed on me, and maybe that explains now why it's the one sport I hate the most. I don't know, but yeah, it was just you have to do some event, and so maybe subconsciously I didn't want to do it, so I was lackadaisical out there.
Yeah. Do you ever think about that, like in your adult life? Do you ever think back to that time you blew the trials? Because here's the thing.
Honestly, I forgot about it up until right now.
oh, we're gonna have to unblock some repressed shit from Dave over here.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, because that tends to be the case. It's like a lot of people. I mean, we're humans, right? Like something happens, we have a visceral reaction to things. It's not like we would like to, because I would be considered by people to be a non-reactionary human.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you're over there shaking your head like, yes, 22 years of it. And people have a hard time reading whether or not whether I'm having emotional changes. Right.
Yeah, I'd say I'm similar.
Right. But it doesn't mean that I'm not having emotions.
Okay.
It just means that the way that I guess display my emotions are a little harder to read. I'm still human.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm getting overwhelmed by emotions per se, but I feel like a lot of the times when people are showing that they're overwhelmed by emotions, it's an act anyway for attention. So I guess what I'm getting at is like how did that disappointment make you feel? Like what did that teach you about handling disappointment in the future? Or I guess those are the questions.
Yeah, I guess it showed me that like I'd much rather march to the beat of my own drum anyway. Because I never played Little League after that, but I might have just been too old. But yeah, I still. They tried to get me on some Dominican Little League team. No, yeah, but like I was still good at sports. It was just one case. Like I've gone out and improved myself. Like yeah, because I played everything. I so one I could suck at one thing.
Yeah. Like that
I don't
doesn't
know.
define
Yeah,
you type of thing, or
I've never been a hyper competitive person, which is weird because I only have a brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he was way more competitive with me than I was with him. Everything, hey, just ran. How many push-ups can you do? Like,
Yeah.
shut up. I have friends. I don't. So, yeah, I'm kind of a roll off my back kind of guy. It was disappointing, but as I said, it felt great to do well in that other. Yeah, it was cool to be a standout in a shittier league than the shittiest player in a good league, I guess. So I think I probably saved myself a lot of shitty feelings with that one shitty feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just.
I have like an analytic brain a lot of times, so I kind of just I do the math on a lot of things to determine how I feel about them.
Okay.
There's probably a term for
So
that.
you
We don't
just,
need to get into that.
lower your standards. You just, I want to be good at baseball. No, I suck at baseball. I never
said,
liked it
yeah.
in the first place. All right. Well, we'll consider that a disappointment chakra unlocked.
yeah.
A little gut chakra unlocked. Really got into that.
Yeah.
Ansley, take us away.
We are now at your heart chakra. Dave, what have you learned from grief?
Oh, we just got done doing Dave's Patreon episode, which was amazing. And you can get that for $1. All of our exclusive content on our Patreon, $1. Dave, did you have a good time doing the Patreon?
I did, yeah. I guess I'm better at embracing my dark side than my light side. I don't know.
Because that's what we do.
To put it in Star Wars terms.
Yes, and of course on the Patreon, we enlighten the guest shadow self with apparently is more of who Dave is. He is the shadow self.
I'm all it, baby.
So for $1, you can get all of our exclusive content, which also includes our fight commentary and analysis of Ansley's fights, and also some of the stuff that I do online. Come, join the Jack cult. Become one of the Jackalites.
Do it. Sorry, should I not chime in?
No,
That's
no.
fine.
I'm glad you said that. Do it.
Do it.
No, do it, seriously.
And now we're going to get back to this episode and find out what Dave has learned from grief.
I've learned that I'm more the rock for people than one to show my own grief in situations. Like I've always, I learned that I don't really need to rely on other people. Like I can just go home and punch a pillow, but I can be that rock for other people. Cause yeah, that year when my dad passed, we had a whole bunch of them follow up after that, and so I was kind of just someone that was there for everyone. You know, I don't know if it brought them comfort to see like such a stoic face.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they needed that from me, but I've never really relied on other people for that. I don't know. Am I skirting the question, or is this
No,
the
I mean
answer?
you
Okay.
you know better
I
than
do know
we
better,
do
yeah.
whether or not you're skirting the question, right? So I mean, it's like I can't tell you.
I mean, I didn't know if I was if that was
Yeah.
a direct answer, or if that was kind of on the sides.
Is your I guess not the pinnacle of grief, but what is the word I'm looking for? Archetype's not quite the word, but is the when that question gets asked, what is the grief that you think about? Is it the passing of your father? Is that
probably my cousin more, because my dad, because he was sick for you have a whole year, so you kind of you don't get hit by it all at once. So you I had a whole year to just see what was like. There were some people that they all knew what was going to happen, but they weren't there every day, so it hit them a lot harder.
Was it not hard to watch? I mean, I haven't had a loved one that like went through a year, a long-term sickness. How did you deal with like, how do you deal with death, right? Because, like, if you're watching somebody you love slowly march towards death, right? It makes you think about it
Yeah.
a lot, and it's like did you process that in a certain way, or is it like, how did you deal with all those emotions? Does it make you think about your own death?
Oh God, all the time. I don't like. Yeah, it's. Well, my own death is. I think about that differently than everyone else's, just because. That's. I don't know if you're spiritual people. We're talking chakras, of course. But that keeps me awake every now and then. Sorry, that I don't believe in an afterlife, so
Sure.
I can't. So it doesn't. There's good things about that, and like there's the good thing is, like once it happens, I don't care anymore because I'm not capable of anything. But it's still like a weird thing to wrap your head around. Just this is all here now,
Yeah.
and now there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's like I'm trying to like tell myself what it's like to experience nothing, but you're not.
Right.
Because you're nothing. I don't know.
It's like when you go to sleep at
Yeah.
night and you're like,
I
well,
have pretty bad insomnia.
okay.
And every
Don't
now
sleep.
and then, I just, okay, going about my day, head hits pillow. What's experiencing nothing like?
Mm.
And it hits me when I'm like driving sometimes. Like I do a lot of like my writing when I'm like, so I have like a great idea in my head and like one piece of ice that's just gone to the world. Like it's a weird thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's looming. It's a loom.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die. It's gonna happen.
I mean,
Right.
I'm hoping to, maybe live till the Matrix ages or what. Like computers are getting good. Maybe they can download me onto something
I mean, well, people always say, you keep the memory alive of the people that you care about, but perhaps that is the afterlife.
That's the Coco method. That's the Pixar.
Was that a black joke, Dave?
Well, the movie's about Mexicans,
All
but
right.
no.
Definitely a brown joke.
Yeah, that's so. But even that. Okay, so that's like a stay of execution.
I don't
But
know what you mean by that. What do you mean by that?
Because the people that have the memories of you are going to die too. So unless you become, George Washington or something like that, or Jesus.
Yeah, but
you're-
the impact goes on forever. Like for example.
So if you shape the people that
No, you do.
succeed you, and then that's like shaping the 6th degree of shaping.
it's an nth degree of shaping, actually.
That's fair.
Because, you can't, like, nobody's independent. No, there is no independent entity on this earth. Like, there is no human being that is not a function of all of the human beings that came before them and all of the human beings that impacted their life, right? So
Yes.
we just can't separate ourselves from that, and when you impact other people, they'll take whatever from you and then pass that on to other, and like that, it becomes generational.
Okay, that's fair. But it's still a direct. Okay, so you're talking impact, but you said like memory originally.
Well,
So the memory, yeah.
well, memory in the broad sense, right? Because not exactly like, for example, like I don't even know who my great grandfather is, but I am here because of him, and his impact shaped what I am today.
Okay, that's fair. And that's like a way to deal with, like, I mean, yeah, that's when I go back to the whole I don't exist. So I'm not capable of being impacted by that. Like, it's nice. It's not, but life technically goes on because it does. But in my world, it doesn't.
So you're only worried about your world, huh?
Well, it's just all that I'm capable. I won't be capable of worrying about it.
That's
That's
fair.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's fair.
Downer.
No, I mean, no. This is you. This is
Yeah.
this is you.
It's no. I mean, obviously, yeah. I want the best for my nieces after I'm gone. But my my mindset at that time can only be nothing.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Because that's what my mind will be.
You mean when
After
you're
I'm
gone?
dead. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you got more out of being there for other people than maybe like I don't know, like that you, and like you said you'd go home and punch a pillow, but like you like delving into the sadness or anything, like you got more from being like more joy or from being there for other people versus like you finding your own sadness?
Maybe because when you lose people, there's like a sense of helplessness maybe. So the people that are still there, like, okay, I can do something for them.
Yeah.
Because you can't. Well, I can't save anyone. I'm fucking worthless. No, I'm not a doctor, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's that, I guess.
Was
So
your
it
dad
does-
and your mom still together?
No.
So that's why you were the primary.
Yeah. They split up a month after I was born.
Okay.
Maybe my aversion to relationships.
Yeah.
Think it was because of you? I'm sorry.
I mean,
It
no.
didn't
I
help.
was actually. I don't know if she is gonna watch this. She watches all my shit. No, I was. I was the attempt at the solution. So they were happily married, had my brother. Things like started to get shitty, and my like, okay, let's split up. And then my mom's like, no, the deal was 2 kids. So I was more transactional, I guess.
When you're a
And I
lady.
think I like to joke about like how, okay, so my brother was born in a happy married family. Now he's happily married, and like just 2 single people having a kid, and as a transaction. And now I have this transactional mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Was your dad ever in a relationship after that?
He was in several,
Yeah.
but none of them were that like. I guess he dated a few for a few. Like he was kind of a tomcat type.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he. I don't know if I should talk about this. We found his list after he passed.
List of ladies?
Yeah, and they were kind of split up by era, like the primary girlfriend. And aside from my mom's, which was nice to see, there was
She made the list.
other. No. She was an era, and the only one without other names in that era.
Oh, nice.
So it was nice that he was faithful. At least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or at least he didn't write it down.
Yeah.
She was single most of my life, but she
Oh, yeah?
did get remarried. Because actually they were married my entire life, but just separated. Then she got married. But he passed that same year, so that was
As your dad.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
6 months, and my uncle. That was.
And you said, and your cousin too?
She was a few years later. That was the one that probably like. I was the most visibly shook just because like closer age. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't have as much time. You didn't see it coming from as far away that you didn't have so less processing time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll consider that a heart chakra unlocked.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing all
Yeah.
of your grief.
Thank you for. You're welcome. No.
All right. Ansley.
All right, we're in the throat chakra. Dave, what is a favorite lie you have told, and you get extra karmic credit if it's a lie that's still in rotation right now?
I'll do it tomorrow. No. That's my most used lie.
Okay.
I actually, damn it, you guys be talking about it already. Because I wanted maybe the death thing. Because I take terrible care of myself, and so like, and people in my life that worry about me, and like, if it happens, it happens. It's like that's like a face that I show, but then yeah, as I said, there's nights where, fuck, I'm gonna be nothing one day. Like,
Yeah.
so there's that.
So wait, so what is the so is the
But, yeah,
lie
it's like-
is your face the lie?
Kind of.
You have
yeah.
lie face?
Do I have live face? I can't see my face.
Your face is a liar, Dave.
I'm okay with that. I don't know how to. Yeah, I can't change that, right?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's.
So
I guess I don't know. Is it that I look like I carry myself confidently? Like I pass myself off as smart a lot of times when I'm not. Is that? It's yeah, because I think with like the stoic face, I appear confident all the time, but I'm always just the second any pressure is applied, like a line of questioning, that's when I start rambling on.
Now, are you intentionally trying to appear confident?
I think that's just the face I wear. I don't know. No, I don't think I would. I don't think that just makes people rely on you. And who needs that, right? He looks like he knows what he's doing. Oh, great. Now they're going to ask me to do stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it may be it's this lifelong quest to not appear as stupid as I actually am. Because like I don't know anything about anything really, but like I have a decent vocabulary and I stay in my lane a lot in conversations. So
yeah, is there a time? So when was the most potent experience of that lie? Like when you say that, do you get thrown back to a situation where that lie face came into play?
Probably like when I attempted like maybe like in the finance world or like in the sales world, and then it was like, holy shit, I don't know anything about what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, so like the real world experience for me, that fell out from under me really quickly. I was an insurance agent for a little while, and like I passed all the tests somehow, like. But I was really just remembering a series of words in a certain order. Mm-hmm. But when it came to knowing what the fuck these words meant, I had no clue. And it was time to push me out into that. Just like, okay, I have a question about this. I'm like, let me check with someone just so I'm super. But like,
you never check with anybody.
No, I did.
Change
I checked
the subject.
Yeah. Hold my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. You do know you're going to die and be nothing one day. None of this matters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh my, wait, if I fuck this up, this is people's livelihood on.
Yeah.
If they get in a car accident and I fucked up their thing, yeah, their life might be ruined.
Yeah.
So I need an adult.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll consider a throat chakra unlocked.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Dave,
I'm barely skimming by, aren't I?
You tell me.
Nah.
You know, like if you feel like you're holding anything back, we don't know, right? So we can only ask the questions. Like,
No, I've revealed too much already.
Yeah, yeah. It's so we're out of the physical chakras. We're into the metaphysical chakras. Let's see you skim by this shit, Dave.
So this is your third eye.
Okay.
All right. So what is something that you always thought was separate, but your learning is the same?
Okay, let's see. Separate but the same. I guess if we're talking comedy wise,
no, we're just talking life wise. It doesn't have
comedy is life.
Yeah, this is we're not like, you know, we're what happens, you know, we talk to funny people, mm-hmm. but we're not relying on them to necessarily say what is like what would typically be a funny answer, but funny people can make anything funny, so we're hoping that, you know, people are telling as much truth as possible, and we just make funny from that.
So two things I thought were separate, but are really one and the same. Or not one, you know.
Yeah.
Conjoined. Let's see. I'm trying to think, like... Like, as far as comedy goes, because I'm trying to relate to that. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what am I... Because I'm getting booked more now. I'm trying to think, what am I doing differently that like I didn't think mattered? So like just being See, this is the part where you said you don't edit. This is gonna be dead air.
It's not a radio show.
I know. I guess kind of like, yeah, like showing up and people wanting you. Hold on.
Yeah. Again, it doesn't have to be a comedy
I know. I'm
situation.
trying. That's just where my mind is, and I know if I start from scratch, this is just gonna. I mean, you guys got a family. You have a life to get back to.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe actually, yeah. If I want to talk about the family thing and like other people's having a family and me having a sense of completeness in that, if that makes sense. Like once upon a time, like I thought like I needed to have kids to make my own life complete. And now like, oh, other people did that part. And now I get like that fulfillment of like watching someone grow and having pride in their accomplishments. But I didn't need to, dedicate all my time to it. So yeah, like I do feel like I'm a more complete person thanks to other people doing shit.
I like that answer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense.
That makes absolute sense.
That was the one I didn't plan ahead of time.
Yeah. So other people having a family and you not are kind of the same thing. If you open yourself up in a way that allows yourself to enjoy the growth of another family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, it seems like you are a more emotional person than you would like people to believe.
Well, it doesn't benefit me to have them think I have emotions.
It does.
No, I mean,
yes, it does.
Let's talk stage-wise specifically for the audience out there. The shit that I say on stage, I think works a lot better for me if you don't think of me as a human, just because of the level of fucked up things I say up there.
But isn't that why people relate? Like people relate to that, right?
Yeah,
like
she's not a comedian, and I think she has a better view, a better perception. See, here's one of a really interesting thing. People, especially in comedy, don't know what's interesting about them. They know what they want people to find interesting about them, but they don't know what people actually find interesting about them. So what people tend to do is they tend to cultivate the thing that they want people to find interesting about them. And then they convince themselves after doing that habit for so long that this habit has to be the way this is done.
That's fair. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I just, because it's sales, a lot of it. Like you're talking, if you want people to find that's why I thought I'd be okay at other sales, because I'm decent at comedy, and that really is just sales. It's you selling yourself to an audience.
Yeah, but there's two parts of the sales process, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the on-stage sell process, but then, you want them to enjoy you on stage, but then you also want people to follow you. You want people to want to follow you. You want people to want to see the next show. And I feel like what makes people want to see the next show is knowing that this is a full, flushed out human that just happens to have these perspectives.
I go about it a little bit differently. First of all, I need to entertain myself a little bit too. That's probably common for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I like to make it as hard for myself as possible up there. I never want to make it easy on myself. So I like to talk about messed up subjects. And if I love when people I hate that I laughed at what you just said. So I think there's a good, I like to have cause afterwards, after the show, yeah, hey, no, thanks. Awesome. Thanks for the nice words. But when I think it works best if there's a certain detachment to me as a human being with the shit that I'm saying up there personally. I mean, you've seen it. It's
Yeah,
all
I've
horrible.
seen
Yeah.
it. I know what you're saying, but some of our people to look up to in the field of comedy that would have this similar sense of humor, and I don't mean to make this comparison for any other reason, but like he would be the king of that, Dave Attell, right?
I've never heard that comparison before.
Right,
But-
you look a lot like him, right? For those of you who are listening, he looks a lot like Dave Attell, but at the same time, Dave Attell shows his humanity.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is it's one thing to be a person who's funny at making those types of jokes, but it's another thing to be somebody that you want to attach yourself to who makes those kind of jokes. And I think because Dave Attell shows his humanity and his vulnerability, that makes people want to attach themselves to him.
Well, he's like, it's just the look though. He's one of my favorites. I've seen him 80 times live or so.
Mm-hmm.
But he's very expressive on stage, and he's charismatic and jovial. He's like a machine gun. I'm kind of a slow-paced, deadpanned. Like I try not to be as quick. Like I like long, drawn-out shit.
Okay,
if I
so
can.
take Stephen Wright then, for example, who is more of a deadpan person,
Okay.
right? Again, he's known for his one-liners, but what people attach to is his version of humanity, his version of a full, fleshed-out human. He's not hiding who he is as a human. He shows that through his other creative endeavors, his writing, and his other things that he does, but he's not just a one-liner comic. Does that make any sense? Because again,
Yeah, I mean,
anybody like
he's one of my favorites too.
yeah,
Well,
anybody can tell a funny joke, but that's not going to make you want to follow that person. That's not going to make you want to be a part of that person's life, because that's what it ends up being. Like when you so again,
Well, he's from an era because he is a persona on stage, but his writing is just so sharp that he outlasted it. Like there's a lot like.
I mean, that's a way to look at it. With if you're okay, so again, I'll say it this way. So one thing that I've noticed from garnering fans, right, is that fans are not attaching themselves to your material; they're attaching themselves to you.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. You've garnered fans. I have some, but yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do
It's like because
understand.
you're a really funny comedian, and I feel like if people knew you as a full fleshed out person, more people would want to attach themselves to you because of your talent, right? But it's not like only the stand up is what people are attaching to. It's like this person. Like people like to believe that they can imagine what this person would be in all these other situations, and that they'd be right next to him in those situations, be like, I knew this was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what people like to feel. Because I'm a fan. I'm like, I love comedy, and I'm a huge fan of comedy and of different comedians, and I'm the same way. I am no different than fans that don't do comedy. When I see a person that I like and that I want to see more, it's like he's like my buddy, and that's kind of how I
Okay.
feel about it. Right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I do see what you're saying, and now that I think about it, I guess when I'm talking, because I'm thinking two different angles here. When I do talk about myself, it is kind of vulnerable. Like I'm the quickest to self-deprecate. I'm talking if I'm talking about like topical shit. Maybe that's when that's when I turn off the humanity a little bit, so I can make the funniest joke without like, okay, well, everyone else is they're thinking it, but they don't want to say it, maybe.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And I don't mean to beleaguer this point, because your answer for the things you thought were separate but you're seeing the same is great, right? And I don't want to diffuse that, because that family thing and you not having a family and enjoying seeing family is the same thing. I really like that concept. But I want to say this, because there was a time when I felt like, as a person who's a non-reactionary person, there was a time when I would say that I would agree, because I was always kind of in the spotlight with sports and academics and stuff all through school and college and things like that. And there was a time when I wanted people to not rely on me and to not know my full capabilities, right? And that did keep people at a distance, right? But then, things changed in a way where it was like, I want to do this for people. Like, I want people to get something out of this, rather than the exercise of even stand-up comedy be about me pushing myself. It stopped being about that. And it's about, how can I give this crowd something worth coming out for? Let me give them something that they can take back and be like, man, I'm so glad that I went out to that show. And that's all I care about now. It's the people in the seats. It's not an endeavor for me. And that, me making that change, as subtle as it might have been, changed the way that people gravitate towards me as a stand-up comedian. And
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, but like, there is always, like, I need to be fulfilled too, so I need to slip some new shit in there, even if I know it's
new shit in there. Do only new shit. There's all sorts of styles. I mean, a guy we both know, Tim Butterly, doesn't even do material. He goes up and he just wings it every time he goes up on stage for the most part.
His brain is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
So.
but he's still doing it for the people.
I hear you.
It's yeah, and again,
there's got to be the self gratification too. Like,
there doesn't have to be.
A little bit, yeah.
But
okay, that's fair.
If you do things like you were saying about the family thing, it's the same thing. Like, you're taking enjoyment, and you're getting the enjoyment from seeing the growth of another family. It's the same thing with stand-up comedy. Like, the fact that you are impacting lives tends to come back on you. It's about, I guess it's changing what is for you in that equation. Really, I'm just from a comedic standpoint, it just really does affect the way that fans gravitate towards you. It just really does. And I think fans being able to connect with you would be an experience that worth having for them.
I hear you. Yeah. It's nice to mix in relatability and then also complete non-relatability. Like, it's
there's
good
no
to be up there
such
and
thing
think,
as non-relatability. It doesn't exist.
It's maybe okay. Maybe like give them like, oh shit, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but that's the material, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. We're not talking about the material. We're talking about the motivation behind the material. Like, that mental switch really does change everything. And you can do the same type of material. That doesn't matter.
It is all for them. Yeah.
The material doesn't exist. The material is just a vehicle to connect you to them, right? Yes. And again, I don't mean to belabor that point, because that's definitely third eye chakra unlocked with the family answer. And we'll go on to the next, and we'll talk more on the Patreon.
You are right, though. We got off the same page for a second, but
yeah,
it is about them, because at the same time, that's the reason I do everything on stage instead of TikTok videos or some shit. I want to. It is better to connect with people than faceless entities and all that shit.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, just to allow the connection instead of like worrying about what obligations the connection could mean for you. And I think that's the one thing that I had to learn is. We'll talk more about that later. But Ansley, take us to the last question.
All right, crown chakra. This is the last one. It's a 2-part question.
Oh boy.
What is one thing you can't give up, and why? That's the first part. And what would giving it up mean?
Okay. All right, see. So I've already established myself as a non-attachable person. Now, I didn't really think this one through earlier either.
I'll figure it out by the time it comes. I'll have it. Yeah.
No, yeah, because like for a while it was peanut M&Ms, but I did kick them.
Nice.
That was my response to quitting cigarettes, and so, yeah, like I was because one thing I did think when I was listening to it earlier was like movie theaters, and I think it might just be like that was something I realized during the quarantine. Like I still want to go out and receive whatever art I like. So yeah, so like movies, live shows, like I'll always want that over digital. And
Do you go to movies by yourself?
oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
all the time.
When he told me that, I thought he was the weirdest person.
I feel like I unlocked a cheat code. By like, I'll go. Okay, if it like I go to like the more artistic movies by myself because I know it'll be me in a mostly empty theater. If it's like a new Marvel movie, that's when I'll go with my friends. So I hate strangers at movies. Like I always find like. I always sit next to someone that like takes their shoes off. Or
Sorry, Dave.
Oh, you're barefoot
Anthony,
in the
she gets
theaters.
so
I mean,
cozy.
the
She
socks
gets
are on,
cozy.
but
Okay,
I'm not putting my bare
Socks
feet on
are-
a movie theater. Ew.
socks are tolerable, but
Yeah.
yeah, what's the opposite of foot fetish? That's me. But yeah.
Head fetish.
Well, now that you mention it. So yeah, like
Like live entertainment.
yeah, and what would it mean? I'd go stir crazy. I think. Did either of you get COVID?
Yeah.
Not me.
That's
Unstoppable.
I mean, yeah, it didn't stop me either.
Yeah.
It made I lost my sense of smell, but not my sense of taste. So it just made chapstick hit differently. That's the only effect it had on me, really. But like, see, yeah, when I originally, I was like, okay, so I could just chill, play video games, watch movies or whatever. But no, I needed that. Like, this isn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
I thought I was more equipped than anyone to do
So what
to do COVID.
Yeah. What is that connection to? Is it the art or is it the connection to like what is that connection for
I
you?
think so. I guess I'm a purist.
Yeah.
Or stubborn, whatever you want, whatever word you want to use. I mean, I decided a long time ago that my way to experience things was the way to, and damn it, I want to keep doing it. Or
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
that's I know a lot of people that are. My dad's like that.
yeah. I was telling you before the show started. I'm addicted to everything 90s, and that
Yeah.
So I wish I could experience movies by renting them from Blockbuster, but yeah. But I don't. So it's got to be the cinemas.
Yeah, when I was growing up, there was $1 movie theater in my town, and as a kid, all you needed was $1 to go to the movies. I had a bike
Yeesh.
and had dollars.
Man, I miss taking my bike everywhere too.
Yeah.
Damn 90s, you were perfect.
Yeah, it was a good time. 90s were a good time. Yeah. And Dave, that's the last question. How do you feel, man?
This comes out in 2 weeks. Or so. I'll be nervous till then. I
Yeah.
always wonder about how I'm going to be received. I don't normally. Yeah. I don't. I do like to be kind of what's it called? Not vulnerable, but like it does. I did another podcast where he answered questions I didn't like. I'm like, oh, shit, I should have watched this one ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I guess I was being too resistant. So he thought there was like some, like he's like, tell me about your dad. I'm like, oh, when I was young, he was like this big scary guy. And then when I grew up, we were just drinking buddies. And then later he's like, so wait, when your dad was beating you, I'm like, wait, hold on. So so I'm working on opening up a little bit more. I hope your listeners appreciate that. And if not, my bad. There'll be a better episode in 2 days.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's this. I mean, here's the thing though. Like what people get out of this is the fact that there's no human on Earth that another human can't see themselves in. Right? Because we're all doing human things. As much as we want to believe that we are unique and going through this world in a unique way and nobody knows what it's like to be us, we all know it. We all have a part of us that is like Dave, like Ansley, like me. And sometimes people don't have the means to express that. And, you know, like people who might feel a little less vulnerable seeing you go through this process, you know, they'll get something out of it. And people that are maybe more vulnerable will also get something out of it because maybe they'll get a better understanding of what it's like for a person to be that way. And maybe it gives them more patience for the people that are like that in their life. Right. So it's not, you know, it's, you know, I trust, you know, we come here, we do the podcast as honest as possible and with the idea of doing it for the people and trust that alone will connect it with the people.
Right on.
Yeah. So
You're welcome.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we didn't
And always
ask you,
undercut it with a joke.
yeah, but do you have time to stick around for the Patreon? It goes a little quicker than this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. And so we're going to hop into the Patreon right now. And for those of you who don't know, the Patreon, we call it Two Jack Bros After Dark. It's where we go through the process of enlightening Dave's shadow self.
Oh, shit.
This podcast was above. That podcast is below. As above is below. Join our Patreon for $1. Gets you all of our exclusive content, which also includes our fight commentary and analysis of some of Ansley's Jiu Jitsu matches and some of the stuff that I do on the road, especially the things that me and Matt do on stage together when we go up at the end of the shows. So come check us out for $1 and check out The Rank Bank, which is Dave's podcast. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yeah, The Rank Bank, which
Think
is
of it
Dave's
like
podcast.
Spank Bank, but with rank.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's basically where the idea came from.
Gotcha. Did you ever rank your spanks?
Oh, so I do it with I don't think the other host could really get in on that one.
The top 5 jerk offs that you've ever had?
I mean, I'm a romantic, so it's obviously the last one is always the best one. The one I'm currently doing, I only have eyes for it.
All right. So check out Rank Bank. Is it on all the platforms?
Yeah, I think Spotify, iTunes. Am I saying I'm really showing my age? Spotify, iTunes,
AOL Instant Messenger.
Anchor. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're about to hop into this Patreon. Please come over and see what the hell happens to Dave's brain
Oh Christ.
in Two Jack Bros After Dark. Dave, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, this was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We love you guys. We are out.
See ya.
Two Jack Bros.